Good morning from Brazil. Right now, we are entering the largest favela in Rio de Janeiro, called Rocinha. Rocinha is a favela, or informal settlement, nestled in the heart of Rio de Janeiro. It's one of the largest favelas in Brazil and is home to an estimated 100 to 200,000 people. Located in the south zone of Rio, it sits on the hillside of the Serra do Rio de Janeiro mountain range, offering stunning views of the city below. While many are familiar with the bustling beaches and glamour of Copacabana or Ipanema, Rocinha is a different world, where the vibrancy and struggles of its community tell a much more nuanced story. Let's begin by exploring the history of Rocinha. The area was initially developed in the late 19th century, but it really began to grow in the 1950s and 1960s as a result of rapid urbanization. During this time, rural migrants from the impoverished countryside flocked to Rio in search of better economic opportunities, but instead of finding adequate housing, many ended up building homes in the hillsides of the city, where they had no formal permission to construct. Over the decades, as more people settled in the area, the government largely ignored the growth of the favela. The result is what we see today, a tightly packed community of narrow streets and steep inclines, with homes stacked on top of one another. What's striking about Rocinha is how this area, despite its challenges, has flourished into a self-sufficient community with its own local economy, social systems, and rich cultural life. Rocinha is far from just a place of poverty and hardship. It has a unique energy with vibrant murals, lively music, and a deep sense of identity that comes from being part of the favela. One example of this rich culture is capoeira, which is a Brazilian martial art mixed with dance and music. Children from the favela practice this traditional art form, and we have the pleasure of experiencing that firsthand today. Rocinha has many other cultural aspects as well. One of the things you'll notice in Rocinha is the music. Samba, funk, and bossa nova echo through the streets of the favela. The residents of Rocinha love to dance, and the rhythm of life here is deeply tied to the beats that pulse through the alleys. Food is also an integral part of the culture. Street vendors sell local snacks like cheese bread, fried chicken, and tropical fruit juices.
Because you have to imagine there's no trains that go there or something.
The taste of Brazil is alive in every corner of Rocinha, and it's a reflection of how this community has maintained its rich heritage despite external pressures and challenges. Rocinha's sense of community is something that often gets overlooked in mainstream media. While the favela struggles with issues like violence, limited access to health care, and inadequate infrastructure, the people of Rocinha have an undeniable resilience. Many local organizations are working on education initiatives, offering children and adults alike opportunities to break the cycle of poverty. Projects like these have been increasingly successful in providing local youths with access to schooling, mentorship, and even music and arts programs, which help them tap into their talents. However, the issues in Rocinha aren't without their complexities. The favela has long struggled with drug trafficking, gang violence, and a lack of sufficient public services. The steep hillsides are difficult to navigate, and there's often little access to reliable sanitation, electricity, or healthcare. While things have improved in recent years, especially with efforts by local authorities to increase police presence and invest in public services, life in Rocinha remains tough for many of its residents.
So the church is still original, okay?
There is also a large Catholic population in the favela, and many of them attend this church right here, which is the largest Catholic church in Rocinha. Many of the residents attend weekend masses, as they are offered in the mornings, afternoons, and evenings. A fascinating aspect of Rocinha is its economy. Despite the challenges, Rocinha has created a thriving informal economy driven by small businesses and entrepreneurs. Many of the shops and services cater to the needs of the residents, from hair salons to clothing stores to pharmacies, all run by locals who understand the community's needs. Tourists have also begun to visit Rocinha, although the community is very particular about how they engage with outsiders. There are guided tours that provide visitors with a more authentic experience of life in the favela, with local guides who share their stories and give you a glimpse into the daily realities of Rocinha. Another noteworthy point is the role of Rocinha in the larger political landscape of Brazil. The favela is often emblematic of the systemic inequalities faced by marginalized communities across the country. From education and healthcare to the police and legal systems, many in Brazil's favelas feel disconnected from mainstream society, and Rocinha serves as a symbol of the struggle for recognition and equal rights. It's in places like Rocinha that the conversation about social justice, inequality, and access to basic services continues to unfold. Despite these challenges, Rocinha has also played a major role in Rio's cultural output. It has been the birthplace of many successful Brazilian artists, musicians, and athletes. Many residents take immense pride in the cultural influence their community has had, from hip-hop to samba to street art and even cinema. As we consider the future of Rocinha, there are both challenges and hopes. The community has fought hard for recognition and better living conditions, and there have been some positive developments in recent years. Public health and education programs are improving, and residents have made progress in terms of self-representation in politics. However, the road ahead is still a tough one. The rapid urban growth in Brazil's cities is a massive issue, and the government will need to invest more resources into improving infrastructure, healthcare, and security for areas like Rocinha. In conclusion, Rocinha is a place of contrasts, vibrant, beautiful, full of life, but also struggling with poverty and systematic inequality. The residents of Rocinha have shown an incredible sense of resilience, creativity, and solidarity in the face of these challenges. It's a place that tells a story of Brazil itself, a place of hardship, but also of beauty, passion, and potential. To understand Rocinha is to understand the complexities of Brazilian society, and perhaps, through that understanding, we can better appreciate the strength and spirit of the people who call it home. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.